blots parchment as an old tale is written and retold, beginning with the rumbling of thunder and ending with the thumping beat of drums. In a time and place where gods roamed, the god of storms, Susanoo, and the goddess of the sun, Amaterasu, once held a divine trial. Susanoo was declared the victor. Proud of his achievement over his older sister, he broke from the sea and took to the land. His tempestuous joy ruined all that he touched. So savage was his elation, he tore into his sister's shrine, her rice fields, her palace. Furious, Amaterasu sealed herself away in a cave, vowing never to leave after such acts of flagrant and terrible disrespect. Without the sun, darkness blanketed the earth, and demons crept out of the shadows, wreaking havoc and tormenting all life that roamed the plains. Without Amaterasu, the earth was doomed, but despite knowing this, she would not leave the cave. Deaf to the tragedies outside, all seemed lost. Until Ame no Uzumi, goddess of dawn, mirth, and arts, arrived at the entrance of the cave. She emptied a sake barrel, placing it in front of the cave, and began wildly dancing upon it. The intense rhythm of heels against the oak was moving, and for the first time since their dear sister had left, the gods smiled, and they laughed. The beat of the sake drum, the chorus of the cheering, was so loud that the goddess grew curious. Amaterasu peeked out of her cave, and Ame no Uzumi extended her hand to welcome her back into the family. As light was brought back into the world, Taiko music was born. Taiko is the heartbeat of Japan. It is an art of drumming whose origin dates back to 2,000 years ago, tying back to influences from China and Korea. Drumming used to be a means of communication across far distances, warning incoming storms, food shortages, and invoking gods in Shinto ceremonies. Though, perhaps one of its most notable uses was amid war. The thundering beat of the drums would intimidate enemies and bolster the spirit of home armies. Though even more than that, taiko drums were able to convey commands and formations during a skirmish, since it could be heard throughout the war zone. As Japan evolved through the times, so did taiko. As larger drums were developed, songs and compositions were incorporated into court performances. The evolution of taiko bloomed and has kept its sacred sound as part of the new generation with modern ensembles.
My name is Karin Sanomiya, and I'm currently the president of WADAIKO. I've been playing taiko since I started college, so it's been about 3.5 years, yes. I was born to Japanese parents in America, and I have been doing my best to, in a sense, preserve my cultural roots.
My name is Jessica Neum. I am a fourth-year game design and development student at RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology, and I'm the vice president of WADAIKO.
WADAIKO is a student-led taiko ensemble from Rochester Institute of Technology, keeping the spirit and energy of taiko present in the local New York area. They have been a growing presence in the university with talented and passionate members that are eager to spread the unapologetic rhythm of taiko.
How WADAIKO kind of started is RT offers one of the best deaf educations in the world, and I believe a Japanese organization for taiko have donated one of their drums, since taiko drums can be very therapeutic for many people, including those with hearing impairments, through the vibration of the drums. And one of our alumni named Ann Tan, she found there was a taiko drum that was left untouched because nobody never knew how to perform on them. And she reached out to two taiko professionals, Kenji Furutate and Masanori Seto, and also other professionals like Isaku Kageyama. And with their help, she started a actual taiko group in RIT. I think what makes taiko unique from other forms of percussion is that taiko is more of a visual spectacle and auditory experience. Taiko drumming is very intense, and a lot of performers, when we train performers as well, we try to do different types of drills, a lot of physical stretching as well, because we want to be able to deliver that powerful strike. And songs like there's a song called Buchi Awase, where there's a big dancing on the side. you want to make sure you're able to do that choreographed movements in a synchronized timing as well.
Taiko ensembles are known for the dedication and discipline to their craft. In order to hone their skills, drummers must center their focus into 4 principles. Ki, the foundational energy or spirit in Taiko, the inner strength and focus a drummer brings to their performance. Waza, the mastery of techniques such as proper grip, striking, and rhythmic patterns. Kata, the form or posture that emphasizes the importance of proper body alignment and movement in drumming. Ma, the space that comes from between each strike that invokes the dynamism within the music. These 4 principles, Ki, Waza, Kata, and Ma, guide Taiko drummers in their pursuit of excellence and mastery in the art form. By embodying these principles, drummers can create powerful, expressive, and engaging performances that resonate with audiences. Drums all over the world are an instrument that invoke a rumbling sense of power and rhythm, though when compared to other percussion instruments, Taiko drumming stands out due to various aspects, such as its powerful sound, physicality, group dynamics, and theatrics.
Taiko requires a good blend of physical strength, stamina, and also mental as well. Physical is definitely will be the dynamic movements that's played, especially on the larger drums. You have to have a lot of not only arm strength, of course, but also core stability, leg endurance. There is also many ways you have to, because some of the songs has very choreographical derby dancing on the side to side going on as well. That is very difficult to do. With the mental part, focusing a lot on precision, timing, and synchronization is very difficult. But yes, as long as it is a lot of physically tiring art, but in the end we try to focus a lot on just staying relaxed and enjoying the drumming, kind of like in a jazz sense, improvising a lot and just enjoying the moment together, because also it's very easy to hear the energy levels of the performance when they're performing. So how we approach with learning and mastering various like taiko drummings is just like many other musical groups, since we're also a kumidaiko, it takes both a lot of individual practice and also collective rehearsals. In our club, beginners would often start with the basics of stance, grip, simple rhythms, and then gradually we'll go into more complex patterns, and then we start to incorporate that movements and choreography. Yes, and then I believe around the time when they feel much more comfortable with everything, we'll start doing more repetitive practice where physical movements becomes more of a second nature, and the drummers will start to focus on the expressions, facial expressions, how they express their body while they're playing, and yes, connection with the ensemble, and of course the kiais, kakegoes that you start to add into performances.
There are 2 parts to creating the thunderous sound produced by the taiko ensemble. One part lies in the craftsmanship of the drum itself. The other part is due to the powerful stances that the drummer must adopt as they play. The bodies of taiko drums are often crafted from hard woods, such as keyaki or nagaraboshi, with the drum head crafted from animal hides such as cows, horses, or synthetic materials. The drum is stuck with a bachi, a wooden stick.
The drumsticks we used are called bachi, and there's different types of wood, different types of length, different types of weight and hardness and softness to them. And the reason why there's different types of length is because there's different sizes of drums. For bigger drums, you want to make sure you have a longer and thicker sticks so you can make that powerful hits easily. For smallest drums, you want a skinnier stick.
There are a variety of taiko drums that could be used in performance, but the most popular drums are the WADAIKO, HIRODAIKO, SHIMIDAIKO, and NAGADO-daiko.
Instruments at least in our club, the instruments we use is nagado drums, chu drums, which is a medium-sized drum that produces the typical taiko sound you would imagine, the bigger, heavier, lower pitch sounds. The other one we use is called, the smaller drum that we use is called shimedaiko, which produces much more higher pitched sounds, and it is constrained by a rope instead. And Nagado drums, I forgot to mention, is more it is the one with the animal skin and the hollowed oak wood. Some groups in America uses a wine barrel instead because it's more affordable.
There's something called a daiko. It's one of the smaller drums. They're kind of like snares in a way, but not really. They're very much high pitch, and depending on how tight you tie the things or the heads, it produces like a lower sound. So it depends on what material is being used to make these instruments. We have something called a katsugi, which is something you wear. It's a lot of festivals, I think, also have these drums where you put it over your shoulder and you play as you walk around. And we have there's also something called an WADAIKO, which is like those big drums, which a lot of the time, some people or some players, they only have one bachi, and it's like a really big bachi because it's a big drum, so you can get so much from just hitting just one stick.
There's also other instruments that's not very like a drum, which is things like atarigane, kane, which is a very metal plate instrument shaped like a gong. Taiko drums and metal sounds mixes very well together, surprisingly, and often it is used for keeping the timing or just even adding that nice spark.
Performances can also be enhanced by exclamations from the Taiko ensemble or even the audience, called kiais. Kiai originated from martial arts and refers to the energy, spirit, and focus of a planned strike.
These are just like something called genki that we have. Genki is like just like energy in a way. And so it really adds to the performance instead of just like drumming, because some of our songs, they're very repetitive, but having that like added voice, human voice to it very much adds to like how the whole feel of it goes. Like you can have a more fun kiai or like kakegoe, like kodo 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 koi, or something short and simple like yeah. But a lot of the time, a lot of groups actually, when they're Taiko members that aren't performing are sitting in the audience, they would typically just yell out their kakegoe with them, just to add to the like have everyone in it kind of thing.
That's one of our favorite parts in Taiko drumming is so the yellings that you often hear in Taiko performance or from the audience is called kakegoe. You want to exert out all your energy from your body, and it's sometimes choreographed into a song, but oftentimes we just yell when the performance is going on because that gives the performers also energy, like oh they're watching us, oh like everybody's enjoying the performance, in a sense of like that. And it just brings a lot of the high energy that Taiko provides into the performance, and it's definitely one of the favorite part of our performances.
Synchronization is essential in these Taiko performances, ensuring a unity of sound, precision, and visual impact. A chorus of strikes, many bodies acting as one, to create a powerful presence on the stage.
What I really learned from it is that there's like you need a lot of trust with the people in there with you, because you're playing a piece together. You're not all playing by yourself and hoping, oh, you're matching me, but it's putting trust in someone that will keep you on time, in beat, and just playing together and having fun with it, really. It's a very nice community too. It's just having fun and just all being passionate about it. There's something called ji, which is basically, or jiuchi, I think is the full name of it, but that's basically the backbeat or like the main rhythm, which binds everyone together, and having that backbeat can help us all synchronize for all of our songs.
It acts like basically like a heartbeat in your body, or like a drum set in a band, so drum set for a drum. And it often helps to maintain like the flow and the energy of the song, because it usually plays a same rhythm over and over again. I believe how Taiko performances, how we keep rhythm and timing is that I feel like there's two things. One is definitely just a mental aspect of having that deep connections with each other and making sure to maintain the synchronization. So it's it gives a cohesive power of the sound. Because if we're not comfortable with each other too, and we feel tensed up, and if we're not comfortable with ourselves, we often mess up a lot, and we're like, oh, we heard a different pattern, even though if you're right, you would try to match that pattern. So having that deep connection, oh, I trust myself, I trust that other person, is very important in WADAIKO.
Taiko stances are specific postures and body positions that drummers adopt while playing. These stances are not only important for maintaining balance and stability, but also for facilitating proper technique and maximizing the power and control of each drum strike. The key to playing taiko is often keeping a wide and low stance with the hips level to the drum head.
So one of the most hardest part, like our group is struggling with right now, in a way, is our stances, is getting low enough so that we have a specific way you have to stand with the drum.
The type of stance you do differs a lot, and some people also doesn't like to say stances because it feels like you are forced into one position. But it's all about, since we are all in different shapes and sizes, it's all about how you put yourself in front of the drum. The styles we use as a baseline is the horse stance is the first one, which is often we do with the naga daikos, which is the medium-sized taikos. We want to make sure you do a perfect squat where your back is straight, your leg is not too far from your shoulders, but about a good length, and you're really positioned. You have that stability, you have that control with your body, even though if you have to move around your arms. For the shime drums, for the smaller drums, we put it on a more higher stand. So we do a forward, in a sense, like a forward lunge, to make sure, for taiko drums, we want to make sure our pelvis lines up around the skin of the drums, because that's like around the perfect height you can hold your bachi at.
We have to keep our arms straight. There's a certain way we have to hold our sticks so it's not like facing forward anyway, just like straight. It's a lot of form movement, like a lot of body movement. Your whole body is being put into this. And another hard part about this is like getting a consistent hit. Because a lot of the times, because some people or a lot of people have one arm is stronger than the other because that's their dominant hand. It's just also, especially for our drum where we have to play while it's standing up on the side, it's really tiring on the arms. So you have to make sure your arms are like really strong when you hit in order to get anything.
So we want to make sure even we're doing that very tough pose where our thighs would start hurting. We want to make sure your back is straight, you look very powerful as well, and you feel powerful because you have to make powerful strikes sideways.
The theatrics and stage performance behind taiko are a fundamental aspect to the performance. Details like body language, expression, and choreography make taiko not only an auditory experience, but also a visual one.
The first thing I really think of for something like coming into a headspace for performances and stuff is making sure everyone's on the same page and feeling comfortable with playing, and making sure that no matter what, if you fall off, just make sure to listen to whoever the Jiuichi, and they'll bring you back in. Just have a lot of trust for whoever's being the backbone of your performance. And if you mess up, it's okay. Just keep playing, because the audience won't know. Even if they will know if you change your face. So make sure to just be there in the moment and just keep going. During performances, we wear something called a happi. It's one of our it's a uniform that we wear. It gives off a very professional feel in a way. But the way we've been wearing it in the past is not as professional, mainly because usually when you wear it, you want to have it closed and have an obi around it, which gives it like this tightness around your body, so it's less loose fitting, and you can see like the taiko players like movements and everything, the nuances and all of that. And a lot of performers also wear something called the hachimaki, which is it can be thin, it can be thick, it can be like just a cloth or like a rope that you tie around your head, but it's to help keep your hair out of the way, so when you're playing, people can see your expressions.
Uniforms provides definitely a very important visual aspect, provides the unity. We wear a orange happy because we're RIT. A lot of groups wears the color from their school, so it represents who they are. And yes, the formality also that it provides is very important with uniforms. The visual aspect, our group is also actually trying to start to work on it more, is stage presence is very important. Taiko, even a lot of other groups that's very professional, very amazing, they also, when they first enter the stage too, there's a stance that they follow where their back is really straight, their hands are either on the side unless they're not holding anything, and they make sure they don't show the sole of their feet. There's like a respect, in a sense, respect that we try to provide, and they will be walking very quietly so there's no sound made. I think one of the key moments that happened with our club is when we went to watch a performance done by Yamatai. Yamatai is a taiko group from Cornell University. They're one of the amazing college taiko groups, and they do a annual concert called Pulse, and that's the first time, at least that was the first time I watched a actual formal taiko performance in person. And once we got into the hall, we sat on the first rows, but after, when the performance started, we started hearing the yells, like you said, the kiais and kakegoes from behind the rows behind us, and we noticed it was the other members from the club, and we're like, oh my god, there was so much energy in the entire concert hall that we're like, wow, this is so great. And how they're performing was so beautiful, amazing, and it just really influenced us to be like, we want to make our club something where the audience can feel powerful, the audience get that amount of energy, and we want to recreate the energy that we got from Yamatai for our people in the Rochester community.
I feel like if we have more smiles on our face, it like we're having more fun, it will like spread out to the community, or like to whoever's watching, because when you're watching someone have fun, you're like, oh man, I want to have fun. I just really love the feeling of just the togetherness. And for me personally, Taiko meant so much because I met my best friend, and through my best friend, I met through so many great people, and like she helped me with my confidence in a way. Like Taiko itself helped me with my confidence, because I always had stage fright. Whenever I was playing, I would just be like so scared I would mess up. But like more recently, I've noticed that fear is gone. It's more like I'm just there to have fun and just to perform for people, let them know that like, man, I'm having fun. You should try this out. Kind of.
I believe how Taiko itself promotes community and collaboration. Definitely, first by playing together, or second by just being in a place to hear the Taiko drums. So performance, or even just watching our do practice, already provides a sense of collaboration and community, because first, when you perform together, especially like with taiko, a lot of people has fear hitting the taiko because of how loud it is, and it really scares them when they hit the drums. They're like, oh, I didn't want to make that much noise, I'm sorry, is it okay if I make that much noise? Like, a lot of people get scared to hit the taiko, so they have to start to and themselves have to start to show trust in other people and be relaxed and okay with others hearing you make that big sound. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm sorry. They say I'm sorry often because they're also shy and how loud the taiko is. So we make sure, oh no, it's totally fine, hit it louder, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be scared, it doesn't break that easily. What makes it really fun is when you see taiko performance where the groups are really having fun by themselves. They're like, oh, like best friends, and they're just doing what they want to do on the drums, and they're having so much fun. And I really love that about taiko. It really helps me to be who I am and not kind of lose myself in a sense too, and just enjoy the moment there, really bring up all the energy I can, which usually you don't get the chance to really do that often. So I really love how I can do that even in front of other people, because that gives energy to them just by looking, kind of like sports, where when you watch sports, how they score a goal and you see that excitement, you feel that excitement. I feel like Taiko does the same, where you see how much fun we're having, you see how much energy we have, you feel very energized and motivated to do anything you want in the world. So I really value Taiko, and I really am appreciated that I was able to be part of this community.